Do your projects on Monday feel scattered or messy? Don't worry, you are not alone. I'm going to walk you step by step through how to organize your boards, views, and automation so your team can finally see everything in one place. Whether you're new to Monday or just ready to level up your workflows, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to manage any project from start to finish with clarity and ease. My name is Tish Eaton, and I'm the Project Portfolio Manager here at Certum Solutions. I am PMP certified as well as certified in Monday.com. If you feel like you're managing your business through a series of fires rather than a set of systems, this video is for you. Managing a project shouldn't be about chasing people for updates or getting lost in task ownership. It should always be about strategic oversight. Today, I'm going to be showing you how you can use the Monday.com Work OS to move from reactive chaos to proactive management. Whether you're growing your consultancy or are an established business, your profitability depends heavily on how well you can protect your team's time and your project scope. Monday.com is incredible at execution. However, what you gain from it is only as good as the logic that you build into it. Today I'm going to walk you through a professional PMP aligned life cycle from the moment of the project being simply a request to the moment where you archive it as a successfully completed project. We're going to focus on building a system that allows you to work on the business, not just in it. Over the course of this video, I'm going to break this out into 4 different phases. Phase 1, intake and initiation. I'm going to show you how to use Monday.com WorkForms so that no project enters your system without the proper data. Phase 2 is planning and structuring. This is where the real work happens. I will show you how to use automations to save time and reduce human error. From the creation of the project to tasks within the project itself, this is where the real time savers take place. Phase 3, monitoring and controlling. In this section, I will show you how to view projects both as a single project dashboard and as a way to see multiple projects in one central location. You'll be able to see project status, budget, and timeline updates in real time. The 4th phase is the closure phase. In this section, I'm going to show you how to close a completed project within Monday. By the end of this video, you won't just have a board, you'll have a professional project management engine. If you're watching this and realizing your setup could use a reset or maybe a pro's touch, that's exactly what we do here at Certum Solutions. We offer free consultations and quotes, and we can help you with setup, integration, or a full workflow optimization. You'll find the link below in the description. Reach out to us or book a quick call anytime. Now let's get started. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is Monday WorkForms. There are 2 different ways that you can use Monday WorkForms. One, it could be in an individual project, so the form can be specific to the project itself, or it can be just a generalized form. The forms are great for intake, for sales, for projects. There are any number of uses that can be done with forms. But to show you, first of all, we are in a project now within Monday.com. As you can see, we're Project Romeo. We're looking at the particular board itself. And from within here, to create a form, you would hit the plus sign to add a new view. Scroll down to forms, and that's going to create the form for you for this project. As you'll see when it pops up here in a second, the form name is Project Romeo. You put your name in there. You can add subtasks, update a status, duration, and so forth within that. Now, these are just one of the questions that pop up automatically from within this form. You can edit the form to add or remove questions based on your particular needs for the form. It's totally customizable. You can put whatever you need to put there. You can change the design, the settings, and so forth. So you can make it your own. Just because it has specific questions does not mean that that is all that you are required or able to use. One specific use case with this would be, for example, for change orders. If you have a project that needs a change order, you can create the form to outline the changes in the project that the customer is requesting. Yeah, that's one specific case that you could use for this. Now, if you want to add a form from within the workspace in general, so not tied to one specific project, you would go here to the plus sign, go down to form, And then you can either choose to create a new form from scratch or select a template that's been created. If you choose to go with the template, you'll see when it pops up, you have the option for a new form, again, blank from scratch, or you can pick one of the Monday forms that are already created. As you can see, they have a lot of different use cases. Create a request form, work request form, project request form. There are a lot of different things that you can utilize these for. If you click on one, it's going to open up that particular form. You can use the template. Very easy, very straightforward to get. I already have one created in this folder. So let's scroll down and take a look at it. As you can see on the left-hand side, you can see the projects, boards, so forth, all the way down to the bottom where we have project request form. Click on that form and we'll go to the main page here. Now this main page is what automatically populated based on the questions that I had or the template that I chose for this particular form. As you can see, there are questions here listed. The red dot or the red asterisk is to show that this is a required question. So you cannot submit and complete this form without entering data in the ones with a red asterisk. That's very, very important. Another thing that you can do is you can put logic within the question. So for instance, I added the question, has this been approved? If we go through and we put yes, nothing additional there. However, if we change and make this answer no, based on the logic that I created, it added a different additional question, which has to be completed again before you can move forward to the next question. Now, when you're looking at the forms, you go through, you fill all the information out. You can have more than one page. So as an example, this one says next because there's more than one page here. You can move on from this page to the second page, and I'll show you what that looks like. So we're gonna have our form here. Let's go with James. James Doe. The project name is Lemon Feet. We're gonna pick a due date here. Let's just pick the date. Leave this as no. Budget needed. We're gonna put 8,000. Executive summary to be determined. Anticipated outcomes. You know, you can put whatever is necessary for these projects here. And then we're going to hit next. This takes us to the secondary page, a question that we had added specifically just at the end to show there's more than one page. Click submit request. Once you hit submit request, it's going to just give you the pop-up that says thank you for submission. It's good to go. Now, there are two different ways that you can see this particular form within Monday.com. You can either look at the main table, which is where it automatically brings over the data that was created from the form that you just filled out, or you can go to WorkForms submission, which is where you can see it in actual form format. So you can scroll through and see the different ones that have been submitted so far, and so forth. These can be exported, saved as a PDF, and so forth. So there's a couple different ways that you can take a look at it. Results, this is your widget where you can add widgets to see specific items, how many say yes, how many say no based on your logic. So this is just a quick snapshot that you can take a look at. We go back to the main table. As you can see, I added the status column. So this is sort of an internal column here that gives us an idea of what part of the process of these particular forms for these projects are. So within the status column, we can change, add different ones. Like I went through and I edited them to say that the terminology that I wanted to apply to this particular form. You can add a label. You can delete certain labels or deactivate certain labels. The only one that you can't delete or change is the default. So when it comes to these, the only thing that you can do with the default is just change the description. Can't touch the default. But you can go through and change it. Now this is going to come in handy when we talk about automations, which we'll do in the next section. However, as you can see, it pulls the data directly from the form itself. So every question that's on that form comes over into this table. So it's very easy to see what's here, what's needed, and to be able to work from that within the form itself. One of the big ticket items within Monday is the ability to use information between different projects, forms, workflows, to be able to create that automated workflow to save time, save money, and reduce human error. So we are going to create a workflow where It creates a new project every time a specific status is set on a project. So the way to do that is we click on this little button right here called Automate. It's going to come up with the automation screen. From there, we're able to start from scratch. Now you'll notice there are a lot of things that pop up here as suggested automations to create. Now Monday has a whole library of automations that you can utilize. Preset, ready to go. You click on the one that works for what you want, fill in the specifics based on your data within the system, and go from there. As you can see, there are a lot of options here that can be utilized from within Monday. Now, if you have automations already set in your system, you can go to Manage, choose one of the ones that you'd already created, and then go from there. Now, I'm going to create one from scratch. So we're going to grab the create from scratch, and the very first thing that pops up is it wants you to, we're creating the logic. We got to tell it what needs to happen. So we're going to say when the status changes to something, because we're going to do this based on status, right? So when the status changes to project approved, once that's done, once any project that gets put to that status, this is what's going to happen. We're going to tell it to create, you can do it to create an item and connect boards, an item in a board. There are a lot of options here that you can select as far as what you want to do. What I want to do is I wanted to create a board from a template. So we're going to click create a board from a template. So new board from scratch. We're going to choose this template right here, new board, make it main, click done, new board from a template. And then this is just a basic automation. You can add additional specific things, and then you're going to, let's say we're going to add to notify, we're going to create a message that says this project is ready to go, and it's going to notify the username. And then you can even go right here and put the board name in front of it. So board name, this project is ready to go with the user. Click done. So that message is what's going to pop up. Somebody, we're going to assign it to me in this case. It could be assigned to anyone on the team. And we're going to say that. We're going to create that automation. So it's going to automatically create that automation in here for when you need to do it. So as you can see, none of these are currently sitting here with an automation. So we're going to change this testing Z to project approved. And it takes a few seconds, but you can see down here at the bottom, an automation is running. Automatically, we've got a new board over here created. So it's automatically bringing that board over. It created based on the template that I told to, and it gave me the notification. That is an example of using automations to create things from scratch. That can be used whether you're tying the CRM and a sale that was just closed into projects. It can be used for internal projects, external. There's a lot of different applications there, but that is how that is done. You basically create the item that you want to, and you tell it what to do from there. Now, you can also create automations from within the project itself. So for example, let's go up here, back here to our project Romeo, and go back to our main table. And let's say we want to create an automation that every time something is put to ready to start status, okay, it goes to it assigns someone and sets a, let's see, we're going to add a due date on here. So let's go add a date. And as you can see, to move something, you simply grab it and you can drag it through the board to the area that you want it to be listed. So we're going to drag this up here and put a third column here. And we're going to change this to be due date. Okay, so to create our automation, we're going to go right up here to automate. Again, we're going to create an automation from scratch. So when the status Again, we're going to go status, changes to ready to start. We want it to assign to someone. So we're going to go and find assign a person. We're going to assign me as the owner of the task. And then we're going to set the due date to today. Okay, we're going to set that due date to today. For example, in this particular situation. So let's create that automation. We're going to get that set up there. So there, that third automation is set. Now we're going to go and change this so we can see the automation in process. Automatically assign it to me, put the due date to today. Once that status was changed. It's real easy to see what automations are existing. So you can come right here to your automations, go to manage, and this shows you all three of them that are created currently in this one. Now you can turn them off, turn them back on. Like, it's real easy to do that. Add different ones. You can check the run history of these particular automations to know, was there an error? Did it run? When was the last time it ran? So you can easily see that information right here from within the automations page. Very straightforward, saves a ton of time, especially when you have a lot of repetitive tasks. Like every time you have a new project, you automatically assign it to the project manager. They go through and make the assignments to the team. Due dates need to be set, or if, every time you hit the initiation and planning phase, you need to notify, the marketing director, whatever the case may be. Anytime you have those consistently manual, repetitive tasks, those tasks that you do all the time, over and over and over again, this saves you from having to pay someone to sit and make those updates, make those changes. You can create that automation yourself from within the system, and it runs automatically. If something happens and it does have an error, let's say something happened to the board itself or the task, that does occasionally happen. But if that is the case, then it does give you that message. So it's real easy for you to take a look and see, what happened, why that automation didn't work. Okay, so the last thing we want to talk about is how to archive a completed project. So let's say, for example, we have completed Project Romeo. All tasks are done, everything has been handed off to the customer and approved as finished. It is a successfully completed project. So when you're looking at the projects, you can go right here to three little buttons on the left side of the project name, archive or delete. Now, if you archive it, it just goes straight into your archives and it stays there until you need it again or you delete it. If you delete it, it goes to the trash for 30 days, and then once that 30 days has passed, it's unrecoverable from there. One thing to keep in mind, in the situation where you have folders, so for instance, this projects folder, how there's 4 different projects, 4 different boards from within this folder. If I go here and click on the 3 dots, the only option I have is to delete. Now, when you delete this, it's going to pop up and tell you it's going to delete everything inside there. So that entire project, all 4 boards within that particular folder are going to be gone. And if that's not what you're trying to do, that's why this pop-up comes, so that you don't take the chance of deleting something inadvertently. It'll still be accessible in trash bin for 30 days, but we don't always have the time to go search that up. So I recommend not hitting delete. Always archive if necessary. So when you archive it, it's going to give you another pop-up. So it's going to come up and tell you that other boards are connected to this particular board. Now, what's going to happen with this is that it's going to remove the connection between the boards, but there will be a link that says it was connected to that other board for whatever purpose in the archived format. So it's still going to show that that link was there, but it's going to sever the connection because you can't have a connection between an archive board and a live board within Monday. And that is all that you have to do to archive a completed project from within Monday. Great project management isn't about more tools. It's about systems that work for you. If you'd like to have our team optimize your Monday workspace, automate repetitive steps, or train your team, reach out through the link in the description. Don't forget to subscribe for more quick, helpful Monday.com tutorials like this one.